用些在岛内所能做到，那边那个我 Mastercam 我给要，这ที่เขาไปกูชิมลุมห้องจะไปกูให้ลุมิกาแต่สิแต่เราให้ลุมิกาชิมมันกูชอบสายจ่าเทียถ้าเขาเป็นอย่างเกิดซื้อไปสุดก็โอเคซื้อกูตุเก่งเรากูยิ่งเกิดอย่างนี้เขากูว่าน่าจะกูสักก็ไปมวยจอมูเกิดก็เจ้าชาตินะไอ้ว่าเราว่าแค่สุดนะไอ้เขาน่าจะขับปีสนะเดี๋ยวไปว่ามุนซีมูก็เจอที่จะเรากูแค่หมดลิ้นแต่มูอย่าตันเดที่เขานำมาขับปีซจึงอยากคอยยังอีซื้ออ่ะโอเค so จะได้ไปปอนนะเนาะเจในมัว like print ยาภาษีเนาะขอชาลองเนาะเจจะจอน geometry ว่ากูยิ่งว่าตอนวันเดย์ละจะคอยจะเดียวปีขนาดอีเขาจะรู้รอจะในซีซั่นเดย์เท่าเจว่าจีตอนนี้รู้เชื่อสาเดียจะนำมาหนึ่งก็อยู่ปีจะนำมาหนึ่งวันเดย์บางทีตอนนี้ทุกคนที่เขาไม่ที่เขาดีเทลไม่นะจะก็ตัวว่าที่ตรงว่ามันที่ยากจะอยู่ที่ปีละขนาดได้ละที่สิวันเดย์ไปเป้าที่ไปรูปภาพในโรงจ่าในไปเที่ยวว่าไรเขาโปรแกรมตัวนั้นโอเคไปจะรีไปที่ปอดนั้นยอดชัดสีนะคือมั่วขอดีเทลยอดชัดสีนะเคลียร์สรุปภาพนะเดี๋ยวมั่วได้ชี้ยอดหน่อที่จะไปใช้นะจะวันเดย์ไปว่าตัวเขาโปรแกรมตัวนั้นไปจุดต่อเดี๋ยวรูปภาพนะอย่ารู้โรงจ่าอย่าโอเคจะรีขอไปปอดหนังสือจะไปยิงว่าต่อเลยตัวเขาทีนี้เคลียร์ส่วนใหญ่ยอดชัดสีนะเราหมดจนได้ขอนะ Okay, so right here we're gonna call this is the top view, and this is the side view. So we need to have side view and top view, or sometimes we even have like bottom view to show everything that we have. But the don't know see yet. Say I can't see paying about the okay. Okay, let's build this up first. Build what can I? ก็ไปต่อที่อาชีไปมาลีโชว์เขาโปรแกรมไปมาลีcreate Mastercam program to cut this part, okay? So ลูกน้องนะเจเนี่ยขัดตัวอย่าเราmillimeter, okay? จะไปว่าขนาดได้จ้ะ So let's go in here saying everything on the top here will tell you if you go through here and here. But as you go along, you'll learn each one, how it works and how to use it, okay? Let's go solid, extrude it, and then pick this one. Hold down your shift key and pick this one. As you can see, it highlighted every corner around it, so it's indicated it picks everything that you want it to. Blue check, and then go to green check, and it will go create the part. But we're gonna go down 6mm only, so we're gonna go 6 divided by 25.4, and that's how it's gonna be, like that thick, 6mm thick. Okay, all right. So as you do, you save it. If you look at the print again, 6mm right here, and now we're gonna try to cut this step down 4mm, and also this hole through and these two holes through, which is gonna be this hole, these two hole, and this slot. So you can see the slot is through in here, hole through here, and this hole through here with the countersink at the bottom. จะไปต่อมัวขนาดเสียตะ pe wa tu ande la ko tao pe wa ka step ande la ko tao pe wa ka lo kho ande ko tao ya shi pe sa wa li cha la pe wa ande si chui cha. But we so before we can do that, we can try to get rid of some of these lines. But to say nữa là chỉ okay. Then we're going to go to model pref and say remove history and say end selection. Chỉ biết muốn khả năng chia tạo đây. Let's cut this. Let's cut this up, see, and cut this up. Because the step's going to be just about here. And at the same time, you need to connect these two lines together first, because as you can see on the print, here, còn nó những shit xóa mà phải theo lại còn chỉ shit xóa phải có chỉ cho nó có tiền những show còn lại print thì còn shit xóa ya. Okay, so then we need to connect this first. Connect this to this first. All right, so we get everything. Tôi lấy cái sign để print nó chỉ nên có cái chia khả năng thông plau nó. Em một cái to plau mình cho họ vậy, okay, khả năng support khả năng sẽ. Chỉ bên một nó bị chia, okay. So let's go back here. Pick this again. Hold down your shift key and pick the line. So blue check, then green check. So the camera will go down again. This time we're not going to create, we will be cutting. So we're going to cut in 4mm. Let's type in 4 here, divided by 25.4 first. And it shows 157, but this time we're going to say cut on the left side. Okay, so then we cut this down there. See? So cutting this down to 4mm. And then say okay and save it again. All right. So we can keep going like now. Let's keep going again. Pick this hole, this slot, and these two holes, and blue check and green check. So I'm trying to cut this through. So as you can see now, it's only go this far because it's thinking it's going to cut only 4mm down. Nên sao để biết gì lý học có bao nhiêu mm sẽ chỉ tao cha họ nó, thế thì biết sao để biết có chắp là họ chỉ cái chỗ tao một con đại tiền go through, okay, go through, yeah, everything go through, okay. See, as you can see, if you say go through, then it will cut everything through. Thì bây giờ cut nó through, vậy, tập biết cut through everything through, thì bây say okay. Blue check and green check. All right, then save again. All right, so now we need to cut this step here. As you can see in the print again, as you can see in the print, this is going to be a step. As it shows here, right here, it's going to be this step here. It's going to be 1.5 down. So 1.5 down. This is going to be this portion of the part showing that this will be left over, and everything from this down will be cut. Okay. So we'll see if that makes sense. All right. So before we can cut this down, we need to have this line connected first. So go in here, trim this together, trim this and this, and say OK. So let's go back to solid, extrude it, pick this again, pick this, hold down your shift key, pick this, and it will get everything. So that's not what you want. So let's go X out, and because this line here is connecting to this and it's thinking like you like to also cut everything down, but that's not what you want. So easiest way to do it is to take this out. So you can always take this one out, like wireframe, divide it, and take this line out first for now. Okay, say OK. Then let's go back and extrude it, pick this, hold down your shift key, and then get everything around it. Just say end chain, or just say blue check, and then green check. So just cutting down this here to the same depth as the big step here, because it's thinking like we're going to cut down 4mm, but it's not what we want. We want to cut down 1.5 as is shown in the prints. So I'm going to type in 1.5 divided by 25.4, and that's how he wants. It wants to be cut down only 1.5mm, which is only like 60 thousandths of an inch. Okay, so we got everything cut now. Let's top view, right click and click on top. It will show everything on top. And then right click again, say fit. It will show everything on the screen just so you can see. All right. Okay, let's say now we have the print on the right and also this part on the left, and we'll see if that's what we want. So let's say green check or accept it, and then save it. And this is the print, so we'll see. So as it shows here, it shows that this part need to have this hole, this slot, these two holes in this 1.5 step and this 4mm step. So that's how the part will be look like. This part will look like this, except for these two holes here. It's got two countersink on the bottom. So if you look at the print, it shows two hidden line here, and here we shows that the two countersink on the bottom of this part, which is, it says here 90 degrees countersink right here. Okay, so the wheel on the right will tell you all the details about these parts here. Okay, so to do this, we can do like countersink on the bottom. We can also do something like this here. Let's go to the top, saying chamfer, one distance, and then I'm going to pick only the edge of this hole, these two holes, this one and this one, and say OK. Oh, so that's how it looks. Okay, top view, and say OK. And then if you want to go in here and say view translucent, you will see kind of like give you some kind of like through it. Or if you want to go by wireframe, it will show everything like here. So it shows countersink on the bottom and this holes through. So let's go back here and say solid. Bring everything back to solid. All right. So that's how the part actually looks like. The reason they have this here, the tab here, here, and here, because they wanted to have something to hold down Otherwise, you won't have anything to hold down, and then how you're gonna machine these parts. So after they finish machining this part, they might have to cut this off. But for now, that's how it is. So if you look here to that, the print will show that this step here is 1.5, and like this here, this line here, it's going to be something left over from here. As you can see here, right here is this one here. It's not going to cut. We're going to leave this alone. All right. Okay, so that's how it get. That's how you kind of like go through it and understand how the part looks before you can even create the program for the. Okay, let's go on to creating a program for this part. So to just save it for now, and then let's go in here and say, okay, pick our machine, mill, and I already pick my default. So that's how we get default machine here on the left, and then go here to the top right, toolpad, pick your toolpad. So I'm gonna pick the toolpad here. It will have all these things here. Like if you go in here, just say like pick everything down here. You show all kinds of toolpad here. Then you can try each one you want, and you will learn which one will fit your job the best. Then use that one. But at this moment, I'm trying to write a program for this. Create a program here for this part, basically. So we can. So many ways to get this thing done, but we're gonna show one at a time as we go along. Okay, then you'll get the idea. Okay, so from now we're gonna go in here, pick dynamic toolpad. You're gonna go pick machining region, and then it says model. I'm gonna pick model, 3D model, and we're gonna pick face. Let's pick face. Pick this face. If you pick this face, you only pick this face. All right, and just say okay. Then also here stays inside, stay outside, and then you can try to learn this thing by going through one of these and see the differences. 但是把那边洗特别小，特别我考虑什么个别包点的我好了用讲的 ，okay. So let's say we stay inside and just green check, and we'll see how it goes. So we pick the two now. We pick two 1/4 inch holder. We're gonna leave nothing here to finish stock. We're gonna leave nothing. So everything here, we just leave it as default. So this will very much self-explain. Cho nên chỉ ní cái trời cái mùa sáng nó chỉ ní cái có thể áo chỉ lại chỉ có những tàu tàu thôi. So I'm gonna go down 4mm on a step, which is 1.7 or 157, and go through all this on the left here. This is coolant on and off. Just say okay. See how it cuts. Then we can try to cut this thing by going here and say backplot, and we can have just the two, or if you like to have the holders too, just go here and pick the holders too, and it'll show the holders too. you don't like to see the holder, just pick the holder and the holder goes away. And just say run, and you start cutting down to depth and then go around it. Start removing all the materials. All right. As you can see, right click and top. As you can see, it's going to leave something here, and it's going to leave something here, which is the tool will not be able to get in because the tool is too big for that. And something like this you might have to do a different way. So let's just go here and say OK. And if you go in here and toggle this on and up, it will show the two pad, and also it will hide it like on and off here. Okay, so let's go back here and see why it's living here. Then how we gonna get this thing machine? Bé bỏ tiền trên chế khó nói à. Thì ở chỗ biết thế tao khó nói tao được khó tiền từ thu nó mù tao hậu lại khó nói mê sẽ chỉ hậu lại nó chỉ mù nữa cái. So something to remember. Let's go back here to geometry and stay from the outside now. So just say stay outside and then say OK. And then region and toggle this one on and off, and we'll show the two pad. Okay, so bé một tao nói bé nhảy nó bé bỏ khả năng tiền nhiệt chia nó tới gì, giờ nhiệt chia nó chỉ nhiệt chia chat, bỏ tao nó lòng nó chỉ nó chăn thu nó chia tài gì bé cứ chỉ học bé nhảy thế này cái. This is not what we want because we're gonna cut all these walls out, and as you can see, it's gonna show everything like here. Let's say if you like to see it, it's gonna be the same, but it's gonna cut everything out. See, that's not what we want. Say OK, and then text up, go behind that. Let's go back to the left side again, say geometry, and this timing I'm trying to say, let's pick a whited region. This go along here, pick a whited region, pick this, and we're going to try to pick avoid this face, then avoid this face, and then let's say OK, and then green check region, and we'll see how it cuts. We're going to go here, turn it on or off. This time it's going to cut just the way we want to. I think we'll see. And if you like, just go in here and say cut, run this back plot, and you'll see it's going to start cutting. So let's start slow, and we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to start cutting from here. It's not going to cut this here and there because you say you want it to avoid this, not to cut. So it's going to start cutting this and that, and go faster if you like. Then it's start cutting everything else, but it's going to leave the top here and then here and here. All right. All right, so as you can see, it's going to cut like that. Okay, so it's going to cut this thing like this. And the one thing we need to do is maybe we need to create a stock for this one just so you can see exactly how it cuts. Okay, let's go in here and save it. Just save it for now. And let's go in here into the level and see. Well, we create a stock here, I think. And we'll see if that shows the stock. All right, so the stock is going to be like this. And if you want to go in here, it's just say like verify this part. And you'll cut it. It shows like this because we never set up stock, so let's get out of it. And then now go in here and say, I can delete this out. Okay, I'm gonna set stock here. Say solid, pick this stock, and then okay. All right. Let's go back to level. Turn this on. This is the part. Back in here. Say machining, pick this one. 3D model, pick this face. Okay. From outside, avoid the region, pick this one, pick this, pick that. Okay. Then green check. Pick your tool and tool holder. This thing all together, we can leave nothing here because we're trying to make this thing as simple as it can be. Geometry, go here, leave, go 3 inches cleanse without hitting the clamp. Again, go in here. You can also type in the number here, you know, which is a 4mm, 157 off an inch. Or you can just go here and say like absolute and pick depth. Then you can pick your depth here. And it'll say 157, the same thing. All right, so go back down, go down the line on the left, pick your coolant on, and okay, and okay. All right, so it's gonna cut like this. And let's see. Let's go verify. All right, so as this is stock, you're gonna see how it cuts. So I'm gonna start cutting everything here. And then that's how it's gonna cut. All right, so that's what you want. That's how we want it. We want to cut everything here, not this one and not this top. All right. You can do this, or exit out, on and off this one. Then what we need to do now is to cut this slot and cut this tab here. So let's go here and say like, I'm gonna trying to mill this tab here first. But as you can see, the corner of this is very small, so you're gonna have to use smaller tool, otherwise you won't be able to cut here. And it will leave stock here in the corner. Yeah, bỏ khả năng mê xí bé chỉ muốn từ thứ mê xí gì nữa muốn chỉ sao phải nói gì nữa sáng cái kho lúc đó bé gì khả năng giờ khó có chịu hòa có hòa chỉ tao nữa có tao chỉ từ thứ mê mình thêm một tao phải nó. Okay, and then just pick these two pads again, and also pick this face, and just say okay, and then okay again. So it's gonna stay on the front. Stay from outside again. If you want to, you can pick here a wide region, pick this and say avoid this and avoid that, and say okay, then okay again. So pick your tool libraries is here, then you just click here, pick your tool. So this time I'm going to use a smaller tool to cut that. It's probably going to be like this big, only this 316 or 532nd. So let's try the 316 end mill and say okay. Pick your holder, 3D model, pick this face. Okay, We can leave everything the same, and then just go down the line here. We're going to cut it down to 60,000 or 1.5 millimeter. So that's what it says here. And pick coolant on and say OK. Okay, we'll see how it cuts now. So that's how it's going to cut. It's going to start cutting from outside in. And then if you like, we can obviously go to the verify, which is shows the way it's going to actually cut this part. So let's see. So I'm cutting this. Start cutting this. All right. So that's how it looks. It's gonna cut everything else. Now we can drill this hole in this slot. So let's X out this one and get back to the screen. On and off, this on and off. You want to pick all of the two pads, you can also pick here, and you can also see all these two pads on and off here. All right. Okay, so save it. You say some of the geometry is being deleted. You want to save it or not? Let's just say now for now. And let's go to solid and see if we can fix it or not. To be able to see that, you're gonna have to go to top and view, turn on your solid here, and then also go in here, region, to see if you can get that back. If not, that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna go to pad. I'm gonna save it. Just say save it anyway, and you will get it. Okay, let's now drill these holes here, or mill this slot first. So we can mill this slot first. So just go here and say tool pad again, and you can do dynamic or whatever. Or it's got so many tool pads here, you can pick any one you want to. But let's just use this again. Or you can use slot. You can use one of these things, but this time I'm gonna use the same. Let's say cut this. At this time, we're gonna cut the slot. So we're not gonna pick the face. We're gonna pick the edges of this thing. So it'll be uncheck this one and see if you can cut this without doing any crazy thing. Let's just pick this and that, and then see if you're gonna cut it or not. Say cut, say okay. This time we're gonna say stay inside, because you want to have a tool to stay inside of the slot. You can't cut it from outside, and just say okay. Back here we're gonna pick the small tool again, and then holder. You can leave everything the same. This time we're going to cut through, so we're going to go down minus 0.236. And then also here it says breakthrough on the left side. We can also check it and go down deeper by 10,000. Say okay. And then also here the coolant. It says chain overlap itself, so it won't cut it. Say you want to delete this tool pad or you want to keep it. Let's just say you want to keep it for now. All right, so let's see what's wrong with this here. Okay, it says overlap, which is, then we'll have to check this out. If you pick this one, hold on your shift key, pick this one, it goes all the way through, then it should be one line. But the best to check this out is to go to wireframe and trying to trim this out. Trim to entity. So let's just go here, trim this to that. Undo it for now. It's crazy. Just undo it. You can always do this one. Trim again to entity. Pick this line, pick that line. Pick this line, pick this line. Pick this line, pick that line, and also pick this one, pick that one. So it should always take this out. And okay, we'll see. Alright. Then go to your geometry and then redo this one. Pick this again. It's gonna be wireframe now if you want this way, or you can be if you want to be like a model part, then you need to go in here and pick this here. So you're gonna pick this here instead. Let's see. All right. It's gonna be in counterclockwise direction. So let's reverse it this way and say okay. And then we'll see how it cuts. Alright, so it's actually cutting now. And then if you want to look again, this is how it's going to cut. To go down here and start cutting. Right, because it's going to stay on top of it and start cutting air before it cuts down to the part. So it's going to go a little bit deeper each time through the bottom. Alright, so that looks good. So you want to save it again. As you progress, you have to save it and then you don't lose anything. Alright, so this time we're going to try to go drill these holes here. So then to drill the hole, go to toolpath, drill, pick drill. And then you're going to pick your hole. You're going to pick this hole. Or you're going to pick either these two holes first, whichever you want it to. So you can pick these two holes first, that's fine. Pick this hole and pick this hole. Then you will show two holes here. The diameter is 208. Then say OK. And then you're going to have to pick your two here. Alright, and you go to, you're going to pick your two libraries right here. And it shows this spot gel here. Then we need to have a spot gel first. So I'm going to pick a 1/4 inch spot gel. Alright, say OK. If you like, you can go here in the comment and say spot gel 2 holes. That's how you do it. Pick your 2 again. Stop, it don't matter. Pick your cut parameter. Because since you're going to do spot gel first, then that's how you need to have gel and counterboard cycle. And all these here, you just leave it alone. Not necessary to go in here for now. Go to your linking parameter. This is your clearance point, so make sure you stay away like 3 inches above. Go to absolute. Here, go everything absolute. And then you're going to go down here. 1.5 millimeter, which is 60,000. So I'm going to type in 60,000.06. And then plus whatever the size that you want. So it's going to be let's say 59, which is 60,000. So let's go down minus 0.125. And you can always change that later on if you like. Once you see what you don't like, you can always change it. Let's go to colon on and off again. Okay. Alright, so this shows that it's cutting here. And it's always a good thing to see here. You can always kind of like see how it goes. Alright. So you can start cutting down here like that and like that. All right, so I can see like it's going down there. It's not quite far enough because you want to have a chamfer on the edge of the hole, but that's something you can always make your adjustment accordingly. All right, so let's go do this hole again. If you like to, you can always kind of like pick 0 and then start over, or you can just, because you're going to use the same spot gel, you can go in here and say like right click on these two pads on the left, right click and drag it down and say copy after. So you're going to pick the same two, so you go in here, and then this time you're going to pick this only one hole again, so you're going to go in here and say pick that one hole. Then you're going to delete this out of it, delete this from your keyboard, delete this thing from your keyboard, and then just pick this hole. All right, you can pick here or you can pick here, it doesn't matter because this is one hole, so you're gonna, I think it's gonna pick it right there. All right, and then just say go here, because you can pick, use the same tool, it just says spot one hole now instead of two holes. And this time you're gonna go a little bit deeper because this hole is down on a step 6 millimeter down. So you're gonna go deeper on a linking parameters here. You're gonna go in here and say like 125 plus the 6 millimeter, which is gonna be 236. Let's say plus 0.236. So it's gonna go, just say 125 plus 236, whatever the number is. So you can also do that, or you can also pick depth here, pick this, and also pick here, and say 157. Then you can also like 125 plus that is going to be 275, which just go 275 here. And then OK. And then we'll see. I'm going to check this one. Alright, so it's going to start cutting the pocket or the step first. Alright. As you can see, start cutting this pocket first, the small one first again, then start this slot, then start drilling this hole here. Alright, so as you can see here, these two spot gel is quite small. You can always do your adjustment later, but now let's go back in here, trying to finish this up. Turn this off and on again. All right, and then if you like, you can also like copy this down, since you're gonna use this geometry as your drill holes. Just go here on the left side, pick these two, pick this one, shift key down, pick this one, and drag this down on your left and your right key down here, and copy after. So now you have all these geometry here. You only need to change your drill to get that to cut to size. So these two holes here is going to be 208 diameter. So you're going to go here, pick these two. First, pick this. Pick your two from the tool library. And you filter this out. This is only spot gel, so you filter this out. Filter this out, and you say gel here. This is spot gel, this gel, so you're gonna pick, double click this one, and this your gel. So this is your diameter, and these are your gel numbers, whatever. Do two numbers. So just pick 208, go in here, something that closer to what it shows here. 208, so you have 2092 in here. See 209 diameter, just pick these two and okay. All right, so you get that 2 and 2 holder again. Pick here. This time it's going to be geo, so you need to pick your pack geo, or you can pick your cycle through each one of these here, but this time I'm going to go pack geo or cheap breaking geo, which is going to show two different G codes. This one is going to go pack geo is going to show G83, and cheap breaking geo is going to show you G73. Okay, so this time I'm going to pick pack geo, and then as you can leave this thing alone, go to linking parameter. Here, this is your 3 inches clearance, and go here, which is going to go through now. We're going to go deeper at least. You're going to start cutting like minus 0.236 and plus the 0 point, which is, you can do your calculation here and then say okay. All right, and your coolant on and off is going to be here again. It's still on because you copied that thing down. So let's see, region, and so you can see that the 2 pads on the left here is going to be 2 hole. It's cutting through the bottom. If you like to see it's going down through the bottom. All right, okay, let's just do the last one first before we start cutting it. So you want to kind of like get some space here. You go plus or minus here. Even you want to open or close these 2 pads, you can close it, close it, close it, close it, and close it, and close this one. So you can, the last one is this one here. So you can leave this one and go pick your 2 again. This time you know that you're going to pick the bigger 2 to get in here, which is, if you want to look at the print, you show here saying 6.3. So whatever the 6.3 is, we find out. So that's the hole. And let's just go back here. And if you go into 6.3, you will see what size tool you need. So I said 6.3 is going to be somewhere close to 1/4 inch, because 6 is 236 already, so 3 would be another 18,000, so that's closer to 1/4 inch. So let's go here and pick your geo, and that's, it'll be 248, 250, something that is closer to that. Let's just go here and say 250 1/4 inch thick, 1/4 inch diameter, or going to be like 246 diameter. That's, let's just pick 1/4 inch geo here and say okay. And then 2 holder again. If you like, you can always say like geo 1 hole and just take out the spot. Just say geo 1 hole here. Cutting, this time you're going to use the same pack gel again, and then you leave this thing alone. Go here to linking parameter. This one you also say going down to 36 plus the 2 plus the 0 point, so it'll be 350 now. And you go here, you turn your coolant on again. Let's see. All right, region, and turn on and off these 2, and you'll see it's going to cut through the bottom again. See right here. All right, so let's try to see what's going on now. Pick everything together, pick all the 2 paths here, go to verify, and we'll see. So as you can see here, you have the big holder here is blocking your view. If you don't like to see that, you can always go here and say verify, and go here and say 2 component and uncheck the holder, and goes away. All right, so click anywhere here and then zoom this out and start cutting from the beginning. All right, so it's going to start cutting that from the beginning. You can speed this up if you like. And slow it down when you get to the end. All right, it's doing the smaller step now. Finish that, and then also cut and drill these holes here. So if you can see, everything is being done the way you want it to. All right, so these two chamfers here on the bottom, you're gonna have to do that in a separate option. Is that you can countersink from the bottom side on a drill press, and that's much easier if you like to do that. Okay, so it's going to be so many different ways to get this thing done the way you want it to, but this way is one way to do it. There will be many more ways to get the same result, but we'll learn as you can go from one part to another, and you'll learn each two-pad, and you'll see how each two-pad works, and that you can pick the best fit for your job. Okay, so we're gonna stop here for this moment, and thank you for coming and learn Mastercam together. 我是ตัวเป๊กMastercam OK. เขาตื่นไปอยู่เกย์เป๊กคนเดียวจะเลยเราไปหาว่าเราเขาเชียร์ไปอยู่เกย์เขาตื่นเป๊กคนเดียวไปที่ยอดตอนนั้นเกย์จอนดูเนาะนี่จะเชียร์จอนดูเนาะตัวเขาที่อยากแคลมจนเนาะตัวเขามาก็เทียบเสียตัวพ่อนั้นก็ชิมว่าเขาเชียร์ตัวจีตัวที่ก็เสียตาจนเนาะเลยจีมันไม่จนยีตัดซื้อจนอยากขอเลยว่าเชียร์เนาะนะ okay. So see you guys. Thank you.